Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Christy here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aries, if you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, there's a link in the description box where you can find out your whole birth chart. And that way, if you want additional information for the week, you can always look at your Moon and Rising sign reading on top of your Sun sign reading today. You're going to notice I have all the cards out. I'm going to switch it up a little bit just to keep it fresh. And I'm going to be doing something that inspired me actually this morning, so that's why I'm switching it up. I'm going to be doing body, mind, and soul for the week, just to get an idea of how these different elements in our lives are going to be impacted and see if there is useful information here for you, or certainly helpful or healing information, which is the whole point of me being here. So if you notice something a little bit different, that's what's going on. I'm also trying to keep the readings under 10 minutes. So let's try that. So I will be asking, as I have been for the past couple of weeks, what does your sign need to know? I find that a little bit more helpful in terms of options and opportunities you may not have noticed before. And that's my ramble. So let's begin by shuffling each of the deck. And you know me, I'm going to wait for a jumper. Once we get a jumper, I'm going to pull, obviously that card's going to lay, and then I'm going to pull the bottom of the deck for general energy with regard to that element for the week for you. So instead of 3 or even 5 card readings this week, I'm going to be pulling 2 cards from each deck. So it'll be 6 cards altogether, but we're going to split it up for body, mind, and soul. So let's see how that works out for everybody. And everyone who's been commenting, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So Aries, let us begin. So I'm going to be using the Medicine card tarot for the body this week. And it is still a general reading, Aries. So whatever is most prominent in your life, I'll encourage you to apply these messages to with regard to the medicine deck here, with regard to the body. So in terms of if you're taking care of yourself, if something requires attention, or if you're not aware of something already that needs to be sort of sorted out, that type of thing. So that's the goal here, Aries, and I hope you enjoy this. So what does Aries need to know? Now, I normally begin with a little prayer as well, but I am going to see how we get along without the prayer today. I always cleanse my house with sage, and I always say a little prayer before I begin the tarot in general. So instead of sort of inserting that into each spread, I'm going to switch it up in a few different ways this week, Aries. So I hope you enjoy it. That's the whole point. So we get a clump of cards there. I'm going to put those back in the deck, see if we get one jumper. And then once we do, I'll put that to the side of the card that is at the bottom of the deck. So what does Aries need to know? What does Aries need to know? All right, so and then we have another clump there. I'm going to give it another shuffle, say 5 more times. If we don't get a jumper, I will pull from the middle of the deck. All right. So it looks like it wants me to pull from the center. Cool. All right. And then from the bottom of the deck, we have the otter. Oh, this is nice. And I'll just lay these to the side for the time being. I'm going to be reading these together. I'm just going to get all the cards laid out so you have something to look at a little bit as we go along. So in what do you need to know in the position of the body, we have the beaver. Its keyword is builder. And then we have the otter, which is woman medicine. I think that there could be a general element around building up your feminine, I was going to say wiles, it's not exactly what I mean, your feminine energy, either becoming in tune with or in touch with, or strengthening, or something having to do here with building upon, and this is again, this is the body, so building upon something that has to do with femininity or anything having to do with the female reproductive system, so to speak, or certainly feminine energy of any kind. Okay, And then in the section of the mind, we have exchanging gifts and a change in the wind. Now, this is always interesting. Whenever I see the exchanging gifts card, its most obvious pronounced statement is that you need to be, or you are in the present, and you're making decisions around this in terms of your mind, okay? So we have being in the present, mindfulness, and making decisions that will upset something that's already in flow, something that's already um, been generated, something that's already built, if you will. And being in the present and being able to make decisions that influence the upsetting of something that's already in place. So, this is what's going on in your mind this week, Aries. And in the row of the soul, we're using the angel tarot here, healing with the angels. And we have the card freedom and the card miracles. Okay. Now, I am going to read them a little bit this way, like I've just done. I'm just going to go over some of that material there, and then I'm going to go down in terms, from top to bottom. So, freedom and miracles, kind of self explanatory. It appears as though they're in terms of your body. Um, you're healthy. This is what's going on here. You've got a healthy sexuality, a healthy appetite. If you aren't female yourself, you are or could be developing the feminine side of yourself, or becoming more in touch with how important the feminine aspect of yourself or the females in your life already. However, if you are a female, you could be looking at heightening or strengthening your own feminine health or well-being, anything having to do with womanhood, okay? And so this is going on, like I said, this is in the body. You could be taking care of female health issues, reproductive issues, or a friend could be going through this. And if that's not going on, it's something that you could need to be aware of this week, Aries. In the center column, this is the oracle column, and of course, this is dealing with the mind. And like I said, being in the present and making a decision about what kind of changes are coming up in your life, it looks like it's going to be a big one, a big shift for you. But the making of the decision, it looks like you're going to follow through with it. That's what it looks like going on here. But you do need to be in the present. You need to be mindful of this decision because it seems to be a big one. And then, of course, in the soul column here with the angels, we have freedom and miracles. This is exactly how your soul is about to feel, or is yearning to feel this week, Aries. I mean, both of these words are very powerful, freedom and miracles, okay? So freedom is extremely important to you right now, and I would say on all levels, but certainly of the spirit, of the soul. You need to feel free, even within a relationship, a work environment. Again, as a general statement, okay, freedom is very, very important to you. And then just from top to bottom quickly, before I show you the cards one by one, we have the beaver. So of course, builder, being in the present, and freedom. Again, this is something that you're yearning for or working very diligently toward. You might even be discovering for the first time how important freedom is to you, a soul freedom, okay? Not just, and not that physical freedom isn't important, but a soul freedom is really important to you right now, or you're going to make it very important. And then with the woman medicine, a change in the wind, and miracles, it could be that you're standing up for yourself here too. That this could be a relationship with the opposite sex, if you will, and that there is something that is going to feel like a miracle, or you're yearning for a miracle around a decision that you need to make for yourself with regard to your own proclivities as a woman or as a female in the relationship. Okay, so like I promised, I'm going to show you one by one. Here we have the beaver. Another term, or an intuitive way to view the beaver is that they're busy. There's always something going on. They're very industrious. So there's something that you're moving, and again, this row is the body, so you're always moving here. There's something that's changing, and I wouldn't say it's shifting if it weren't for the change in the wind literally here. So something is definitely, you're about to move your body into a new position, so to speak. And with the otter, the woman medicine, this is just an adorable card. I actually love all my cards, as you know, but the artwork in the medicine card tarot is just phenomenal. And this little critter is so happy. The whole point about this is to feel happy in your own skin, Aries, and it's really important to you. Like I said, perhaps even if it wasn't in the past, whatever that means to you right now, it really is now, and you could be turning also in difficult times this week to females or women in your life who you admire or find inspiration or get strength from. You could be turning to them in order to build the strength that you need to move on to, of course, the mindfulness or the sense of contemplation you need to have around this decision or set of decisions with the exchanging gifts. And of course, the most prominent element here is being, this fairy is in the present, okay? So this is about being mindful about what steps or action you're about to take. And as you can see here, there's a great deal of movement to something that is static, something that is stable. But it depends on how you're going to feel about those terms, right, Aries? If you feel like something's stagnant, even if it's stable, it's going to feel old. If something is stable but not stagnant, but you need to switch it up or you need something fresh in there, you can inject something fresh in there without it all falling apart. However, you have to get to the point in your own mind about being perfectly aware of why you would be wanting to shift something that is stable or if you're viewing it as stagnant, okay? So, and the freedom card, and as you know, this is the soul column. So it's really important for you this week, probably more than ever, Aries, that you feel a sense of freedom, that you're allowed to be yourself, that you feel respected for being yourself. You're not doing anyone else any harm. You just want the freedom to be yourself here. And this could be the miracle that you're asking for. This shift in behavior, thought processes, belief systems, whatever is going on here when you're in the present in a mindful way this week. Hopefully this is what is around the corner for you, is this miracle, is this sense of you're free now because you've made a tough decision, or you're free because you've been willing to switch something or modify something so that you can get the freedom that you needed, and it will feel like a miracle in your life. Again, in a general sense, whether you leave something or refresh or adjust something is entirely up to you, but just be mindful about really being in the present about how this is not only acting for you in your life right now, but what are the repercussions of making this decision, which is big changes in your life. So, Aries, that is your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it, as always. If you have a second, let me know what you thought of the reading or if it made sense to you. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe because I upload videos for your sign every single week. So until we meet next time, Aries, take good care and I will see you then. Bye for now.